Ju ki jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta, Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Shila Gurudeva ki jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta, Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta, Swami Mahārāja Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashatashmad Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashatashmad Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai, Nitil Pravishta Mahabhagavat Shila Gorkishoras Babaji Mahārāja ki jai, Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Nitil Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Padadasha Raghunath Shrada Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Shila Hairas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vrajamandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Radha Kund Shyama Kund ki jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki jai, Shri Brajendra Nandan Shama Sundar Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai, Shri Nanda Nandan Yashoda Nandan Krishna Kanaya ki jai, Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Janmashtami Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Nanda Baba Yashoda Maya ki jai, Shri Gokula Mahavan ki jai, Shri Vasudev Devaki ki jai, Shri Mathura Dham ki jai, Shri Dao Bhaya ki jai, Shri Baladev Prabhu ki jai, Shri Rishabhanunandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani ki jai, Shri Sarva Vrajavasi Gan ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shnitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So you're gonna have to be a little tolerant of me right now. I'm a bit spacey, but yeah, I thought we could read from the book Krishna, Lord of Sweetness. This is a book. What is it? I think classes my Gurudev gave in Holland. No, not Holland. Malaysia, I think, in 1999. Let me just check really quick. No, it's 1998 in Malaysia. Okay. Yeah, so only problem is that I couldn't find, I even proofread the book, but I don't have the PDFs. And for some reason, the PDF for this book isn't available on purebhakti.com. So, but the book is on the Bhakti-Base app. If you don't have the Bhakti-Base app, I highly recommend it. It has all of my Gurudev's books. See? So I hope you don't mind me just reading from the book. You just look at my face instead of having the text there. And then after, maybe we can read some other things if you have any suggestions of what I should read. And we can sing some kirtans also. And I'll be looking at the comments for any suggestions of, yeah. So send them over, what you might want me to read or sing. So let me just open this up. So yeah, 1998 in Malaysia. My Srila Gurudev Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Let me make this text bigger. All right. I wonder, I could do this. I could read it like this, and then we could read it together. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't mind doing that actually. Okay, let's try this. Or is this weird? It's a little bit awkward for me. Okay. First of all, I offer an innumerable obeisance. Okay. Rupanjari says just to read it. Okay, I'm going to just read it. The birth of Sri Krishna in Gokula. The first section is Glorious Vaishnavas. First of all, I offer innumerable obeisances to my Gurudev, Nitil Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashrutarashata Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And again, innumerable obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja. You all know that Swamiji came to the eastern and western countries, and within a very short time, mercifully preached everywhere the glories of Sri Krishna's names and the glories of bhakti. We are struck with wonder at how quickly he did this, from one corner of the world to the other. Yet, when he left this world and entered the Lord's pastimes in the spiritual realm, devotees all around the world, and also in India, became weak in their practice of bhakti, because they had no advanced association. Lacking this association, their bhakti began to dry up. Swamiji saw some of his disciples were neophyte Vaishnavas, and that although they wanted to progress in bhakti, they were gradually drying up without advanced Vaishnava association. I think that he mercifully inspired me to travel. He has sown the seeds of bhakti everywhere, and he has established a very good foundation. Otherwise, a person like me could have not done anything. You are hearing from me only by his mercy. He wrote many books so that new devotees or anyone can understand what pure devotion, what bhakti is, who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is, and how we can become happy in this life and in future lives. I see that wherever I go, a good foundation has been constructed by Swamiji. And of course, this is my Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, their relationship go way far back, way before Srila Prabhupada even took sannyas. And so their relationship is like that. That's why my Gurudev calls him Swamiji. But it's an affectionate term because of their relationship. But yeah, nobody should misunderstand that. I am also indebted to Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He was a pure Vaishnava. He followed the instructions of his Guru, Swamiji, but faced so much opposition. He desired to overcome these obstacles, but he met so many obstacles on all sides. He was surrounded. He was so bold. He strongly emphasized and impressed upon everyone the necessity of Vaishnava association. And that is why almost all of his disciples are now associating with us, with me. I am indebted to him also. I know that such a Vaishnav can never die. They have crossed the limitations of birth and death. They are present anywhere and everywhere. They are continuously serving their holy masters, Sri Radha Krishna and Śrīmad Mahaprabhu. When they see that we are preaching in the same mood, they will be very happy and will sprinkle their mercy on us. You should have very strong faith in bhakti and in our disciplic succession of bona fide spiritual masters in our Guru Parampara. Do not be weak. If there is no Vaishnava association, you can associate with the books left by the Gurus in our disciplic succession, books such as Śrīmad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhagavad Gita. But when the living representative of the Supreme Lord is present, you should try to hear from him. We are in Malaysia for a very short time. If this preaching party travels to the Philippines as planned, then we are only here for 2 or 3 more days, tomorrow and the day after. And if we do not travel to the Philippines, then we are in Malaysia for a few extra days. There's a footnote here, I wonder what it's saying. The Philippines tour was later cancelled, and Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja stayed in Malaysia for a total of 7 days. You should listen to all these discourses and then try to practice in the same manner as the gurus in our disciplic succession, our Guru Parampara. Vyasadeva heard from Narada Rishi, and Shukadeva Goswami heard from Vyasadeva, and then they practiced. Our whole disciplic succession of bona fide gurus did this. Swamiji took initiation from Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and he totally followed him. We should follow our Guru Parampara, our Guru. Don't have any doubt about this. I was going to explain the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, but you should also know about the character of Dhruva, Prahlad, Ajamil, Bharat Maharaj, Chitraketu Maharaj, as described in the other 9 cantos. For a spiritual practitioner, the example of their character is very powerful. Ajamil was a wretched and characterless person. He took wine and even committed murder. There is no sin that he did not commit. Who's trying to call me? There is no sin that he did not commit. Yet, by uttering Nārāyaṇa, a name of the Supreme Lord, he was purified and went to the spiritual realm, Vaikuntha. One second. Prajumna Prabhu, I'm in the middle of doing a Śrīmad Bhagavatam. I'm reading from, I can't talk right now, but you can call later. Sorry. So sorry about that. Ajamil was a wretched and characterless person. He took wine and even committed murder. There's no sin that he did not commit. Yet, by uttering Nārayaṇa, the name of the Supreme Lord, he was purified and went to the spiritual realm Vaikuntha. There is no doubt that anyone who chants the names of the Lord, Ram, Narayan, Nrsimha, and especially Krishna, will develop bhakti. But he should chant these names with honor, from the very core of his heart, and without any doubt. Of course, he will have to give up some things. He will have to follow the 4 basic principles. What are they? Dyutam panam striya suna, yatra dharmas chatur vida. That's from Śrīmad Bhagavatam, chapter 17, verse 38. And so my Gurudev has Brajanath Prabhu stand up. Brajanathas. 1. No illicit association with the opposite sex. 2. No meat eating fish or eggs. 3. No intoxicants like tobacco, wine, etc. And 4. No gambling. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. No kind of gambling. 4 principles. However, if you do not practice bhakti, if you do not chant and remember, then following these principles is of no use. By associating with Vaishnavas, by and by you can give up these unfavorable activities. Vaishnava association is very essential. The demigods appeal to Sri Krishna. We witness so much mercy in the character of Krishna. Once the earth goddess took the form of a cow, and weeping, she went to the demigods and goddesses. I cannot tolerate the weight of all these bogus, sinful people, she said. They are unaware of their eternal nature and are like demons. They do not know the religion of the soul and think, we are the monarchs of all. Who are these sinful, bogus people? Jarasandha, Duryodhan, Agasura, Bakasura, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Pondaraka Vasudev, Kalyavan, and especially Kamsa. They were always eating, drinking, and mating, and nothing else. They had no spiritual goal and they did anything to be happy. They took fish, meat, and wine, and did any worldly act. As a result, they began to forget that they are the soul, part and parcel of Krishna and his eternal servant. The general populace became influenced by these persons, and also became like them. Therefore, the earth goddess approached the demigods weeping. The demigods and demigoddesses could not think of any solution, so all of them, along with the earth goddess, went to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. They too could not give them any remedy. At last, Brahma took them all to the milk ocean, and there he began to meditate on Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and expansion of Krishna. Oh, thanks for sharing that. Should I read from that? Then everybody could... Anyways, I'm just going to continue. After meditating for some time, Lord Brahma heard something. Garbhodaksha Vishnu was telling him, I know everything. My master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, has ordered me to give this message to you, which you should share with the other demigods. Very soon, Krishna will come to earth and do what the earth goddess wants done. All the bogus persons and demons who do not believe in God, in the Vedas, and the fundamental nature of the living entity, or in the principles of bhakti, will soon be destroyed. Krishna will soon appear in the Yadu dynasty. All you demigods should take birth in that dynasty also, either in Vraj or in Mathura. Your wives should take birth in the Yadav dynasty, or they should take birth as the gopis of Vraj and serve Srimati Radhika. Lord Brahma repeated what he had heard from Garbhodaksha Vishnu to all the demigods present, and then everyone returns to their respective abodes. Jarasandha, Kamsa, Ravan, Duryodhan, and all other demons only engage their senses in worldly pursuits. They did not believe that they are a soul, part and parcel of Krishna. They thought that they could be happy solely by indulging in different forms of material pleasures, like associating with women, acquiring wealth and reputation, and by controlling others with their power. Krishna came to establish the process of self-realization for the age, the Yuga Dharma. Do you know about the Yuga Dharma? Within the material creation, there are 4 periods of time known as yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Each of these 4 yugas has a specific prescribed practice, a dharma. In Satya Yuga, all persons were very religious-minded and were always meditating on the Supreme Lord. There were also demons in Satya Yuga, such as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, but they were rare. In Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma was to perform fire sacrifices, as Lord Ramachandra did, for the welfare of the whole world. In Dwapara Yuga, the Yuga Dharma was to serve the deities in the temple. And in the present Yuga, Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Krishna came to the material world for many reasons, one of them being to establish the Yuga Dharma. What was the Yuga Dharma at the time of Krishna's appearance in Dwapara Yuga? It was deity worship. But what is real Dharma? Real Dharma refers to the eternal nature or occupation of the soul. Krishna established this by speaking Bhagavad Gita. Within Śrīmad Bhagavatam, in chapters such as Uddhav Samvad, Krishna established that the living entity's intrinsic nature is to love God. Śrīmad Bhagavatam is the gist of all the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Ramayana, and Mahabharata. It is the essence of all scriptures. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam, it is said that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our highest object of worship, and that Vrindavan, his holy abode, is non-different from him. The method of worship of the milkmaids of Vraj, the gopis, is the best of all methods of worship. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has accepted these conclusions. And there's a verse, Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachirupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Śrīmad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartha Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharo Na Para. That's from the Chaitanya Manjusha by, what's his name? It's Sri Chakravarti Thakur, I think. Oh God, something like that. Srinath. Yeah, Srinath Chakravarti Thakur. Yeah. Chaitanya Manjusha. It's a commentary on Śrīmad Bhagavatam. It's the introduction for that. So, Shri Krishna, the son, this is a translation. Shri Krishna, the son of the king of Vraj, is our exclusive object of worship and love. In the same way that he is worshipful, so is his transcendental abode, Sri Vrindavan Dham. The mood in which the young brides of Vraj, the gopis headed by Srimati Radhika, worship him, is the highest and ultimate form of love of God. Śrīmad Bhagavatam alone is the immaculate scriptural evidence of this. Pure love for Krishna is the supreme objective of life, beyond mundane religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and impersonal liberation. This is the conception of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We hold this conclusion in supreme regard and have no inclination or respect for any other inclusion or cheating opinions. Thanks, Rup Manjari, for sharing the link to the document. Actually, Krishna came to establish the religion of love for God, and he established it. Uddhav realized it by associating with the gopis. Krishna himself said, Naparayeham niravadya samyujam swasadu krityam vibudhayushapiva yama bhajam durjayage hashinkala samvrishyatarva pratiyatu sadhuna. That's from Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10:32-22. My darling gopis, your meeting me is innocent and immaculate in every respect, because it is devoid of even a single iota of desire for your own happiness. It is overflowing with supremely pure love. Although the bonds of affection for the members of one's own home are impossible to overcome, you have completely demolished them. Thus, for loving service to me, you have transgressed the moral laws of this world. Even if I lived as long as the gods, I would be unable to requite, I don't know how you say that word, requite even one drop of your love, sacrifice, and service. All of you may free me from my debt simply by your own gentle nature, but I am forever the debtor of your prema and will always continue to be. I can never repay the gopis, never. Krishna feels he cannot possibly repay the gopis for their selfless service, even if he were to have hundreds of thousands of births as Indra or others with extended longevity. Requite. Okay, rhymes with quite. Thanks. Requite. So, in actuality, Śrīmad Bhagavatam speaks of the gopis, especially Srimati Radhika's intrinsic love for Krishna. Although Srimati Radhika's name is not directly mentioned within the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, her name is there everywhere. Now again comes the question, how did Krishna come to the earth planet? In India, the Yadu dynasty is still present today. Before Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty, there is a king named Ajamila. He had 2 wives. One was in a dynasty of those in the administrative military class, the Kshatriyas, and the other wife was in the lineage of cowherd people, the Gopas and Gopis. Okay, so we got that. In the Yadu dynasty was a king named Ajamila, and he had 2 wives. One wife was a Kshatriya, and the other wife was a cowherd, like in the group of cowherd people. She was a Vaishya. From the Kshatriyini lineage came Shurasen, and from Shurasen came Vasudev Mahārāja of Mathura. From the Gopis' womb came Parjanya, and from Parjanya came Nanda Baba of Vraj. Okay, so Ajamir had 2 wives. The Kshatriya wife gave birth to Shurasen, and Shurasen gave birth. From him came Vasudev Maharaj. From the Gopis' womb came Parjanya, and from Parjanya came Nanda Baba and Vraj. So actually, Nanda Baba and Vasudev Maharaj are brothers, and in Indian culture, a cousin is often referred to as one's brother or one's sister. So one is a Gopa and one is a Kshatriya, but they are brothers. Kamsa's father, King Ugrasen, had a brother named Devaka. Kamsa's father, King Ugrasen, had a brother named Devaka, and Devaka had a daughter named Devaki. When Devaki had attained maturity, her marriage ceremony was performed, in which she was married to Vasudev Maharaj. Kamsa was so happy that his sister was going to be married. After the marriage ceremony, Kamsa gladly sat his sister and brother-in-law on a golden chariot which he drove with his own hands. Kṛṣṇa held the reins of the chariot in his left hand and a whip in his right. He carried a sword in his belt. His sister and brother-in-law wore the beautiful dress and decoration of a bride and bridegroom. As the chariot proceeded toward the home of Vasudeva Maharaj, suddenly an aerial voice said, "O foolish Kṛṣṇa, you are ignorant. The eighth son of Devaki, whom you are now carrying on a chariot, will kill you." Hearing this, Kṛṣṇa immediately jumped down from the chariot. Dropping the horse's reins and his whip, he took the sword from his belt, taking the hair of Devaki with his left hand and raising his sword in his right. He cried, "I will kill you." He was thinking, if Devaki is killed, there will be no first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth son to kill me. This is a symptom of one who is a Gnostic. What is the meaning of Gnostic? Devotees, atheists. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Atheist, one who does not believe in God. Kṛṣṇa knew that what this aerial voice spoke would come true, but he thought, "I will make this prediction false by killing Devaki." He never thought, if the aerial voice speaks the truth, then how can I stop it? In fact, Kṛṣṇa was unable to kill her, but still he said, "I will make this prediction false," and he took up his sword. An atheist thinks, there is no God, no controller of this world. I am the controller of this world. I can do anything I wish. But really, he cannot. In the meantime, Krishna inspired Vasudeva to turn to Kṛṣṇa and say, "Oh, why do you want to kill her? You are very much a coward. You fear a lady? Only a coward can kill a woman. Any strong, noble personality would never do such a thing. Yet you want to kill not just any lady, but your very dear darling sister. You must not kill her." "But her eighth son will come and kill me," Kṛṣṇa said. Vasudeva believed this, and he believed that Devaki would surely have an eighth son. He was unable to make a false statement to Kṛṣṇa. He had strong faith that what the aerial voice spoke must come true. He thought, I should be an instant. Surely the eighth son will come. Vasudeva said to Kṛṣṇa, "You know well that anyone who takes birth will eventually die. Even if Devaki lives for 100 years or more, eventually she will die. Why kill her? You know that you also will die. Why are you fearing death? Also, I have decided to give you all my sons, not only the eighth. I will give you any son that is born to us, and you can put him to death. Why kill your sister?" Yes, Nanda Baba and Vasudeva are half first cousins, that's right. So why kill your sister? Kṛṣṇa trusted the words of Vasudeva Maharaj, but he knew that he was a very religious person and would not fail to honor his word. Kṛṣṇa thus set Vasudeva and Devaki free, but he kept a close watch on them. After some time, the first son was born. Vasudeva picked him up and gave him to Mahārāja Kṛṣṇa, who said, "I do not fear this son. There is no sense in my sinning unnecessarily." And he set the child free. But Vasudeva Maharaj was not convinced. He knew that such persons can change their minds at any moment. Sometimes they become angry, and sometimes they take pity on others. Sometimes they laugh, and sometimes they are very fearful. Nothing is certain. In the meantime, Narad Rishi came there and said, "My dear son Kṛṣṇa, you are a very foolish person. You know that the eighth son will be born and that the other 7 sons will grow bigger and bigger and help the eighth son kill you. Vishnu knows much about politics and is very tricky. He may count in such a way that the 7th child will be the 8th. We cannot say which of Vasudeva's sons Vishnu will consider the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and so on. Therefore, you should kill all of his sons." Why did Narad do this? Because it would take at least 10 years for the 8th son to come, which is a very long time. By then, Kṛṣṇa would have destroyed the whole world. Kṛṣṇa should be killed before that, very soon. Narad desired that the sons of Devaki quickly take birth and perish, so that Krishna would soon come and kill Kṛṣṇa. Narad also said to Kṛṣṇa, I have heard in a meeting of the demigods that they are making a clique to oppose you. Actually, the entire Yada dynasty are demigods, and the wives of the demigods have become the wives of the Yadavas. All will help him to kill you. Kṛṣṇa became furious. He greatly trusted Narad Rishi. He considered him his guru and was certain he knew everything. Narad Rishi left, and Kṛṣṇa called for the return of Vasudeva Mahārāja's first son. He then killed him, smashing him onto the stone. When the first 6 sons of Vasudeva Mahārāja were killed, what happened to Naveen Krishna Brahmachari? That was Madhav Maharaj before he took sannyas. You should speak something. Shri Krishna is born in Gokula. Naveen Krishna Brahmachari. After the first 6 sons were killed by Kṛṣṇa, Devaki again became pregnant. Krishna was to come as the 8th son of Devaki, but whenever the Supreme Lord descends to the earth planet, his transcendental abode manifests. So first Baladeva Prabhu, who embodies the reality of the Lord's transcendental realm, appeared in the womb of Mother Devaki as her 7th child. Simultaneously, he entered the womb of Rohini Devi, another wife of Vasudeva Maharaj, and his original complete form. Sorry, guys. The form of Baladeva in Devaki's womb was an expansion of that original form. Vasudeva Maharaj thought, Kṛṣṇa is so wicked-minded. If Rohini Devi remains in Mathura and gives birth to her child here, then he could kill her offspring as well as Devaki's. It is better that I send her to Gokula Braj, where she can stay with Nanda and Yashoda. Vasudeva Maharaj therefore arranged to send her there. Meanwhile, about 6 months into the pregnancy, Krishna ordered the personification of his internal spiritual potency, Yoga Maya Devi, to transfer the baby in the womb of Devaki Devi to the womb of Rohini. Baladev, the son of Devaki, thus merged into his complete form in the womb of Rohini. Thus, the 2 Baladevs combined and became one. Similarly, Krishna simultaneously entered the womb of Devaki Devi and the womb of Mother Yashoda. Baladev Prabhu took birth in Raj from Mother Rohini's womb, 8 days prior to Krishna's birth. The day of Baladev's birth is called Raksha Bandhan, or Baladev Purnima. 8 days after Baladev's birth in Braj, Krishna appeared in both Mathura and Gokul Braj. In Mathura, he appeared in a 4-armed Nārayaṇa form, 16 years of age. He wore a crown on his head and was adorned with many ornaments. In his 4 hands, he held a conch shell, the Sudarshan Chakra disc, a club, and a lotus flower, respectively. On that same day in Gokul, Krishna took birth from the womb of Mother Yashoda in a 2-armed form. Krishna never took birth in Mathura from the womb of Devaki Devi. He manifested there. And actually it says that word manifested in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. And my Param Gurudev gives a whole article on all the references to Krishna in Mathura, and they're all words like appeared. He manifested, words like that. But when it talks about Krishna in Braj, it always uses the words born. So yeah. So what is it? Krishna never took birth in the womb of Devaki. He manifested there. It is quite impossible for a baby to be 16 years old when he comes from his mother's womb. Except for Shukadeva Gosvāmī, right? When a normal baby takes birth, he is not wearing any ornaments and does not carry a club, conch shell, lotus, or Sudarshan chakra. It is not possible to take birth from a mother's womb in this way. Therefore, Krishna only appeared in Mathura. He did not take birth. He manifested there in the form of 4-armed Vishnu, or Nārayaṇa. On the same day in Braj, however, Krishna actually took birth from Mother Yashoda's womb. A few minutes later, Yoga Maya Devi, the personification of his spiritual energy, also took birth from that same womb. Because Mother Yashoda was tired from the first birth, she did not know that she had given birth to 2 children. Meanwhile, in the jail of Kṛṣṇa, Vasudeva Maharaj and Devaki Devi were praying to Krishna with folded hands. Krishna then gave them remembrance of their previous births, in which they were Kashyapa and Aditi, who had performed severe austerities, and before that they were Prishni and Sutapa, who had also performed much austerity. By all these austerities, they had satisfied Lord Vishnu, and he appeared before them. Vishnu told them to ask for a benediction, and they said, "We want a son exactly like you." Vishnu replied, "It is mentioned in scripture, Atasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, na tat samaschabhyadikascha drishyate, parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate, swabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha." That's from the Shweta Shvatar Upanishad 6.8. He does not have any mundane work to perform, nor does he possess material senses. There is no one else like him, and certainly no one is greater than him. He has an eternal and natural superior energy that is manifested in various ways, and is the source of knowledge, strength, and activity. Because you have asked for the benediction of having a son exactly like me, and because no one is equal to me, I will have to personally come as your son. Krishna, in his four-armed form, thus appeared before Vasudeva and Devaki in Kamsa's jail in Mathura. He summons the influence of Yogamaya, and at once, a parent's mood came in the heart of Vasudeva and Devaki, overcoming their mood of awe and reverence. They prayed to him, "Babhuva prakrita shishu," please be like a worldly child so that we can protect you. That's from Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10.3.46. The Lord then withdrew his four-armed form and appeared before them with two arms, like an ordinary child. Krishna ordered Vasudeva, "Take me to Gokula, Vraj." Previously, Vasudeva Maharaj said to Kṛṣṇa, "I promise that I will give you all of my sons." But when Krishna himself appeared as his son and ordered Vasudeva to take him to Gokula, Vasudeva Maharaj did just that, thereby breaking his promise to Kṛṣṇa. We may ask, is such dishonest behavior religious? Krishna has said, "Man nimittam kritam papam api dharmaya kalpate." That's from the Parma Puran. This means that if a person performs any sinful activity, not for his own benefit, but for Krishna's, or because Krishna has ordered him to, then that is real religion. It is the best religion, because Krishna is truth. The demigods are praying to Krishna. Satyam vratam satya param chi satyam, satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye, satyasya satyam rita satya netram satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapanna. Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10.2.26. O Bhagavan, whatever you desire becomes reality. You are true to your vow because you are responsible for manifesting your own desires. Truthfulness is the means to attain you, and therefore you are the supreme truth. You are unchanged during the creation, maintenance, and destruction. You are truth itself. You are the root cause of the 5 major ingredients of creation: earth, water, fire, air, and space. After these elements are again manifested during creation, you are present within them as the indwelling supersoul, and after devastation only you remain. You are the origin of both truthful speech and equal vision. Therefore, we are taking shelter of you, who are the original form of the absolute truth. Therefore, when Krishna was in the womb of Devaki, the demigods prayed to him, "You are truth, past, present, and future. You are the embodiment of truth." Obeying Krishna's order, Vasudeva Maharaj took Krishna to Gokula. As he approached the river Yamuna, he saw that Yamuna was flooding. "How can I carry this boy across?" he thought. "It is not possible." While he was considering what to do, Yogamaya Devi appeared there in the form of a jackal and swam across the Yamuna river. When Vasudeva saw this, he thought, "Oh, there is not so much water. If a jackal can effortlessly cross, then so can I." Vasudeva Maharaj picked up baby Krishna and entered the Yamuna. Heavy rain continued to pour, and bright flashes of lightning lit up the night sky. Baladev Prabhu, in the form of Anantadev, the giant transcendental snake with thousands of hoods, covered Vasudeva Maharaj and baby Krishna with his hoods, protecting them from the torrential rainfall. Due to the influence of Yogamaya Devi, Vasudeva Maharaj was not aware of Ananta's protective presence above him. As Vasudeva was crossing the river Yamuna, the water level rose higher and higher because Yamuna Devi was very eager to touch the lotus feet of Krishna. At first, Vasudeva Maharaj carried Krishna in his arms, but after some time, he placed Krishna on his head, just as Vasudeva Maharaj was about to disappear under the water's surface. Krishna thought, "Oh, this is very hard for my father." And he touched Yamuna Devi with his feet. Yamuna Devi became satisfied, and her waters receded, allowing Vasudeva and Krishna to easily cross. Upon reaching the other side of the river, Yamuna, Vasudeva Maharaj immediately took Krishna to Gokula to stay. Meanwhile, in Gokula, 2 children had just been born from the womb of Mother Yashoda, 1 boy, Krishna, and 1 girl, Yogamaya. But when Vasudeva Maharaj arrived at the home of Yashoda and Nanda Baba in Gokula, he was unaware that Yashoda had given birth to 2 children. By the influence of Yogamaya, he saw only the baby girl. Following the order of Krishna had given him in Mathura, Vasudeva placed his baby boy, Krishna, the son of Devaki, in the home of Nanda Baba and Yashoda in Gokula. He placed the son of Devaki, Krishna, in the home of Nanda Baba and Yashoda in Gokula. As I mentioned, I'm a little bit spacey right now. He thought, "I am keeping my son here." As he left, he picked up the newborn baby girl, Yogamaya, and returned with her to Kṛṣṇa's jail in Mathura. Upon reaching Kṛṣṇa's prison, Upon reaching Kṛṣṇa's prison, the locked jail door again opened automatically, as it had done when Vasudeva had left the jail. Krishna, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, is an expansion of that Krishna who took birth from the womb of Mother Yashoda and Vraj. When Vasudeva brought his son to Gokula and placed him in the house of Nanda Baba, his son merged into that Krishna who is the son of Nanda and Yashoda, but no one could perceive this. Mother Yashoda also did not know that Vasudeva Maharaj had taken her newborn baby daughter, Yogamaya, and left his own son with her. No one was conscious of this incident. That morning in Mathura, as baby Yogamaya was crying, all the watchmen informed Kṛṣṇa that the 8th child of Vasudeva and Devaki had taken birth the night before. Kṛṣṇa was sleeping, but he immediately awoke and came there. Devaki Devi tried her level best to hide that baby girl, who was not her own daughter, and to protect her from Kṛṣṇa. She pleaded with Kṛṣṇa, "Oh brother, this is not a boy, it is a girl. The aerial voice said that it would be the 8th son who will kill you, so don't kill her. I have one suggestion. I can marry my daughter to your son, and then she will be your daughter-in-law. But don't kill this baby girl." Kṛṣṇa had no compassion for Vasudeva and Devaki. With a desire to smash the baby girl against a rock, he tried to snatch her from Devaki's lap, but she somehow slipped from his grasp and flew into the sky, assuming an 8-armed form. "Oh, you foolish Kṛṣṇa," she cried. "How can you kill me? Your killer has already taken birth elsewhere." Kṛṣṇa was astonished. He realized, this baby girl who ascended into the sky has revealed her true form. Indeed, she is my worshipable deity, Durga Devi, the goddess of the material energy. Kṛṣṇa strongly believed that his worshipful deity could never tell any lie, and thought, "Surely my killer has already taken birth somewhere else." Kṛṣṇa immediately called an assembly and told those present the whole story. "My worshipable deity has declared that my killer has already taken birth. So how can we kill my killer? He arranged another meeting with Putana, Aghasura, Bakasura, and other demons. They concluded that they would kill any babies who had taken birth in the last 8 to 10 days. Putana made a special vow. "I shall take the main responsibility for this." Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhashta kipasindhubhyo kutitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, to Prem Prayojantas. Can you make this point clearer? speak about Krishna's appearance in the jail in Mathura and his birth in Gokula. To the assembly of devotees, you should try to understand this. This subject is very important. We know that Krishna has appeared in Mathura in the jail of Kṛṣṇa. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam also, all these facts have been written, but it may not be clear. No, I'm not going to do that, Manjari. Okay, I'm going to try it. How can we kill my killer? How can we kill my killer? No, I can't do it. How can we kill my killer? 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 That is a tongue twister. Okay, so Prem Prayojan Das. According to the general conception, wait, I already read, right? You should try to understand this. This subject is very important. We know that Krishna appeared in Mathura in the jail of Kṛṣṇa. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam also, all these facts have been written, but it may not be clear. Prem Prayojan Das. According to the general conception, people think that Krishna was born in Mathura. If we go to Mathura, we will see many signs pointing to Krishna's birthplace. Everyone considers Mathura to be Krishna's birthplace, and that Vasudeva carried him to Gokula. But in the scriptures, there are many statements. Krishnonyo yadusamphuto yapurna sostyata para vrindavanam parityaja swakachin naiva gacchati. That's from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Leela 167. The Krishna known as Yadu Kumar is Vasudeva Krishna. He is different from the Krishna who is the son of Nanda Mahārāja. Yadu Kumar Krishna manifests his pastimes in the cities of Mathura and Dwarka. But Krishna, the son of Nanda Mahārāja, never at any time leaves Vrindavan. Actually, Krishna never takes one step outside of Vrindavan. But if Krishna is always in Vrindavan and never leaves, how can it be that he was born in Mathura? Krishnonyo yadusambhuto. We should know that the son of Vasudeva and Devaki and that the son of Yashoda and Nanda Baba are not the same. The son of Yashoda and Nanda Baba is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna in his original form. The son of Vasudeva and Devaki is called Vasudeva Krishna, and he is an expansion of Yashoda, Nanda, and Krishna. Krishna, the son of Yashoda, who is the original form of Krishna. Therefore, Vasudeva Krishna, who appeared in Kṛṣṇa's prison cell to Vasudeva and Devaki, was the expansion of Krishna, the son of Yashoda. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Is there any difference between an expansion of Krishna and the root, the original Krishna? Prem Prayojan Das. In the Brahma Samhita it is stated, Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Ananta Rupam. All forms of the Lord are one. By authentic philosophical conclusions, by established truths, they are all one. This is called Vishnu Tattva. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. You should not say that Krishna, the son of Nanda and Yashoda, and Krishna, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, are different. If you say this, all will criticize you. Prem Prayojan Das. It is not that they are all different. They are one. Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Anantarupam. All the unlimited forms of Vishnu are one. To use the word difference is not right here, as Srila Gurudev has corrected me. The actual word is Vaishishta, speciality. There is some speciality in each of them. Siddhantatas tvabhedepi Shrisha Krishna Sarupayo Rasedno Krishyate Krishna Rupam Esha Rasastiti. It's from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-59. According to transcendental realization, there is no difference between the forms of four-armed Narayan and two-armed Krishna. Yet in Krishna there is a special transcendental attraction due to the conjugal mellow, and consequently he surpasses Narayan. This is the conclusion of transcendental mellows. According to established philosophical conclusions, all Vishnu Tattva, plenary manifestations of the Supreme Lord, are one. But if one views each manifestation of Vishnu from the perspective of transcendental mellows, then no one will see that Vrajendranandan Shyam Sundar Krishna, the beautiful dark-complexioned son of the king of Vraj, is the full embodiment of all mellows of transcendental love. Each form has a speciality, but this Krishna, who is the embodiment of all loving mellows, is known by such names as Vrajendranandan, Shyam Sundar, Radhanath, Gopinath, Gopi Jana Vallabha, and Radha Kanta. According to the perspective of established conclusions, Krishna's expansion is non-different from him. But according to the consideration of transcendental mellows and relationships, Krishna, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, is not equal to Krishna, the son of Nanda and Yashoda. At exactly the same time that Vasudeva Krishna appeared in the jail of Kṛṣṇa and Mathura, Vrajendranandan Krishna was born in a natural way from the womb of Mother Yashoda and Gokula. Therefore, even though it is said by common people that Mathura is the birthplace of Krishna, he was not actually born there. He only appeared there, and his true birth is in Gokula. His true birthplace is Gokula. Vasudeva Krishna appeared in the prison cell, but Yashodanandan Krishna was born in Gokula. Another reason we know Krishna was born in Gokula is because the next day, the ceremony in which the umbilical cord was cut took place there. This can only take place if there is a natural childbirth. This is the real proof. Therefore, this is one of the specialities that differentiates Vrajendranandan Shyam Sundar Krishna from Vasudeva Krishna. In the pastimes of Vasudeva Krishna, there is much Aishwarya. Aishwarya is generally understood to mean opulence, but the real meaning of Aishwarya is the Supreme Lord's performance of any activity that cannot be performed by a human being or demigod. If it surpasses the limitations of human beings and demigods, then that pastime is called an Aishwarya pastime. Krishna in Vraj is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his pastimes there are saturated in sweetness. Even though Krishna in Vraj possesses all Aishwarya, his pastimes in Vraj are not considered Aishwarya pastimes. Instead, they are Naravat Leela, or pastimes that resemble the activities of ordinary human beings. When Vasudeva Krishna appeared in the prison cell in his four-armed, fully ornamented Narayan form, Vrajendranandan Shyam Sundar Krishna was born in the womb of Mother Yashoda and Gokula. After Krishna's appearance in Mathura, Vasudeva Mahārāja prayed to him, and by the influence of Yogamaya, a parental mood entered his heart. Please become like an ordinary child so that we can protect you. That Vasudeva Krishna, who had appeared in a large Vishnu form, then became like a small baby. Vasudeva Mahārāja was overwhelmed, feeling, "Oh, my son," and picked him up. As soon as Vasudeva picked up his son, the shackles fell from around his wrists, the chains binding his legs released and fell to his feet, and all the prison doors opened. There is a teaching in this. What is that teaching? If we approach the Supreme Lord with a certain mood, with relationship, "Oh my son, oh my friend," or "Oh my beloved," then very quickly, all the bondage of material existence will fall away. Picking up baby Vasudeva Krishna, Vasudeva Mahārāja carried him out of Kṛṣṇa's dungeon and headed toward the river Yamuna. When Vasudeva arrived at Yamuna, it was flooded because of the very strong rainfall, making crossing dangerous. He did not know how to proceed or how he would cross. Still, he was determined to carry out the order of Vasudeva Krishna, who had told him, "Please take me to Gokula and exchange me with the daughter of Mother Yashoda." At that time, a jackal appeared there and began to cross the river. Vasudeva thought, "Maybe I actually can cross." There is a teaching in this also. When we try to advance in our Krishna consciousness, many obstacles will come. But if we are very determined to carry out the order of Guru and Krishna, then by their mercy, some guidance will manifest and help us cross beyond those obstacles. As Vasudeva Mahārāja was crossing the river, Anantadev came behind him with his many hoods and sheltered him. In the same way, if a person is determined to carry out the order of Guru and Krishna, we should know that Guru Tattva in the form of Anantadev and that person's Gurudev are with him at every moment, protecting him from many difficulties and obstacles. When Vasudeva arrived in Gokul, he approached Rajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar and Yoga Maya, who had been born at the same time. It is understood that Mother Yashoda had given birth to twins, one boy and one girl. The boy was the original Krishna, and the girl was Yoga Maya Devi. Vasudeva Maharaj did not see the original Krishna. He merely came and placed his child, Vasudeva Krishna, on the bed, and this Vasudeva Krishna merged into the body of the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yashoda Nandan Krishna. He then picked up the newborn baby girl, Yogamaya Devi, and carried her back to Mathura. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj, to a nearby devotee, can you say the name of the father and mother of Krishna? Devotee. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj. Not Vasudeva? Devotee. No. Devotee thought it was a trick question. Devotee. No. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj. This is wrong. You should reconcile this, because he is also the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. If you do not reconcile this, then Śrīmad Bhagavatam will be considered incorrect. Govinda Bhakta Brahmachari, now known as Shripad Bhaktivedānta Ashram Maharaj. In the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, it is stated that Krishna is the son of Devaki. We accept this statement from Śrīmad Bhagavatam as a fact. But then, how can we understand the statements of Prem Prayojan Prabhu and Naveen Krishna Prabhu that Krishna is actually the son of Mother Yashoda? Actually, he is the son of both Mother Yashoda and Devaki Devi. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj. The question arises whether or not Devaki had any pregnancy. Was there anyone in her womb? Govinda Bhakta Brahmachari. Yes. Srila Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj. Who was in her womb? Was it not Krishna? Devaki had a child in her womb for 8 months. How did that child get there? In this world, a child comes into the womb of a child comes into the womb from husband to wife. But in this instance, there is no such process. Vasudeva Maharaj recited a mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. By this mantra, Krishna entered the womb of Devaki. Vasudeva spoke the mantra in the ear of Devaki, just as Gurudev gives mantra to his disciple, by which Krishna comes in our womb, meaning our heart. In the same way, by Vasudeva Maharaj speaking this mantra, Krishna came as the transcendental sound. Krishna is the same transcendental sound. Interesting. He entered the womb of Devaki, but who was he? He was Narayan Tattva. Lord Narayan had given a benediction to Devaki and Vasudeva in their previous life as Kashyapa and Aditi, and also in their prior births as Vrishni and Sutapa. Kashyapa and Aditi had wanted a son like him. Like whom? Like four-armed Narayan. Narayan came and said, "There is no equal to me, and so I myself will have to enter your womb." That very Narayan, the expansion of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rajendra Nandan, entered the womb of Devaki Devi. That is why Vasudeva Krishna, four-armed Krishna, appeared in her womb. Narayan never came from a womb. He always resides in the heart. From this womb, four-armed Krishna appeared, and he is Vasudeva, Narayan Tattva, the expansion of Rajendra Nandan Krishna. According to the perspective of established truth, they are the same, yet there are specialities in each of them. This is a long chapter. Who was in the womb of Mother Yashoda? In their previous birth, Yashoda and Nanda Baba were Drona and Tara. In that life, they performed many austerities and worshipped Brahma, the creator of the material universe. Brahma is a devotee of Krishna, and he knew that Krishna is the eternal son of Nanda and Yashoda. While in trance, Brahma saw that very soon Krishna would enter the womb of Yashoda. Brahma gave a benediction to Drona and Tara. You will possess so much parental love and affection for Krishna that he will enter your womb as your son. Therefore, Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses all sweetness and all majesty and opulence, entered the womb of Mother Yashoda. Krishna appeared in Mathura and took birth in Gokula on the same day, at the very same time, at midnight, on the 8th day of the lunar cycle in the month of Bhadra. We're in the month of Bhadra right now. In Mathura, he appeared in a four-armed form as a 16-year-old boy, with 4 hands holding Sudarshan Chakra, a club, lotus, and conch. But in Gokula, he was born with 2 arms like an ordinary baby, no hair or ornaments, nothing. When Vasudeva Mahārāja took his baby boy across the Yamuna to the house of Nanda Baba, the boy merged into the 2-armed Krishna. When Krishna appeared in the jail of Kṛṣṇa, there was no link, no umbilical cord connecting Devaki and her son, Vasudeva Krishna. But there in Nanda Baba's house in Braj, there was a link between Krishna and his mother Yashoda. In the morning, an expert lady came and cut the umbilical cord. Many Brahmin priests came and began to recite mantras. A bath was given to Krishna. So many things were done there in Braj, just as when any lady gives birth to a child. All procedures were performed, but in Mathura, nothing was done. Do you understand? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, came from the womb of Yashoda. On the basis of established truth, on the basis of tattva, both Krishna, the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and Krishna, the son of Yashoda and Nanda Baba, are the same. But from the perspective of transcendental mellow, from the perspective of potency, Krishna, the son of Yashoda and Nanda Baba, is superior. How is he superior? A son will sit on the lap of his mother, but when he becomes older, when he has matured, he is given in marriage to a woman and becomes her husband. He is still the same person, but when he was a little boy, he thought, "She is my mother, and I am her son." When he is married, what does he think? "I am the husband of this woman," and his wife thinks, "He is my beloved husband." She cannot think of him as her son. When Krishna is a little baby, he is like a son, and when he grows older, he is the object of all rasas, of all transcendental relationships, and he reciprocates with the devotees according to the various gradations of their love. Rajendra Nandan Krishna is the object of all rasas, but Vasudeva Krishna can never be. He can only be the object of affection for those who relate to him with moods of neutrality, servitude, partial parental affection, and partial friendship, but not for those with a mood of amorous affection. Therefore, Vasudeva Krishna and Rajendra Nandan Krishna each have their specialities. You should know that Krishna is partly the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, but he is fully the son of Nanda and Yashoda. This is Namatek Leela. Do you know the meaning of Namatek Leela? Namatek means occasional. Krishna's 8-fold daily pastimes such as cowherding, his friendship with the cowherd boys, and Ras Leela are all Nitya Leela, eternal pastimes. In Krishna's eternal pastimes in the spiritual world, Krishna never takes birth from the womb of Yashoda, but all think that he has. But here in this world, Krishna performs Naimittika Leela. The killing of Kṛṣṇa, Aghasura, Bakasura, and all these demons is Naimittika Leela. They are not eternal pastimes. In Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world, there is a mood that these pastimes have taken place, that Kṛṣṇa is there, but the actual form of Kṛṣṇa is not there. Kṛṣṇa can never enter Krishna's transcendental pastimes in the spiritual world, but there may be a mood or conception that he is present. All Brajvasis think Krishna has gone to Mathura and killed Kṛṣṇa. Now he has returned from Mathura. This is due to Krishna's pastimes in this world. Krishna's pastimes related to killing Kṛṣṇa, his appearance before Devaki, and his birth from the womb of Yashoda are seen only in his pastimes in this world, not the spiritual world. All the Brajvasis understand that Krishna has taken birth just 1 month ago, or only 2 months, 6 years, or 9 years ago. But the actual pastime did not take place. When you do bhajan, real internal service and worship, and become mature when you become mature in your bhajan, you will cross this infant stage of being a neophyte devotee and become an intermediate devotee. Then you will realize something of what we have spoken. And then, when you attain the stage of being a devotee on the topmost platform, you will realize more. Finally, when you totally give up this body and go to the transcendental world, you can realize all these things. Before this, you should know all philosophical conclusions and try to believe in them. So, I think tomorrow morning, the time that we normally do our Śrīmad Bhagavatam classes, I will read chapter 3 of Krishna, Lord of Sweetness. And maybe by that time I can get the words for it so that you guys can read along with me. But now I thought we could sing a couple kirtans for Krishna. I'm feeling really spacey right now though. So Rupa Manjari had 2 requests. This morning we sang a few Krishna kirtans. So now we'll just sing a couple more. Yeah, and I'm just going to do 2 kirtans and then stop because I have things to do and I should probably go for to the temple. So, all right, let me share my screen with you. Do I have? Just opening up the songbook file. And now I'll share my screen. Where is it? There. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Oh God, sorry guys, I'm so slow and spacey. Yes, you can see my screen. Just double checking. Okay. So Manjari requested Madhurashtakam and Choda Gaganya Purushashtakam. I'm just looking at what other ashtakams maybe we can do. Anyways, I'm just going to do this one for now. Okay, so there's 2 common melodies that we sing this in. I mean, the really awesome melody is the one that Pandit Joshua sings. What is it? Adaram Maduram. Hey, what's going on? Adaram Maduram, Badanam Maduram, Nayanam Maduram, Hasitam Maduram, Hridaya Maduram, Kamana Maduram, Maduradipate, Akilam Maduram, Maduradipate, Akilam Maduram, Maduradipate, Akilam Maduram, Maduradipate, Akilam Maduram. Vacha Maduram, Charita Maduram. Anyways, I'm not going to do that melody though. It's such a beautiful melody, but I'm going to just do the more common melody that we sing in. So one melody is Adhara Maduram, Vardhana Maduram, Nayana Maduram, Hasita Maduram, Hridaya Maduram. I think that's how Tapati Madhavi and Kalimba sing it, Kanaka Manjari sing it. But otherwise, Kishore Mohan and Surivi, I know that they have a Adaram Maduram, Badanam Maduram, Nayanam Maduram, Hasitam Maduram, Hridaya Maduram, Gamana Maduram, Maduradipate, Akilam Maduram. Which one should I do? I'm just getting the Mridanga. Oh God. Starting to lose my voice also because I did a bunch of Kirtan and Gurudev Samadhi and then just read a bunch. Oh, Krishna. Okay. Let me see. Does anybody have a preference which melody I should do? Nope. All right, I'll just do the first one. I'll do the Kanaka Manjari Kalimba one. Adara Madhura Vadana Madhura Nayana Madhura Hasita Madhura Hridaya Madhura Gamana Madhura Madhura Dipate Akila Madhura Vachana Madhura Charita Madhura Vasana Madhura Valita Madhura Chalita Madhura Pramita Madhura Madhura Dipate Akila Madhura Venur Madhura Venur Madhura Panir Madhura Pado Madhura Nrita Madhura Sakya Madhura Madhura Dipate Akila Madhura Gita Madhura Opita Madhura Bhokta Madhura Sukta Madhura Rupa Madhura Tilaka Madhura Madhura Dipate Akila Madhura Karana Madhura Tarana Madhura Harana Madhura Ramana Madhura Vamita Madhura Shamita Madhura Madhura Dipate Akila Madhura Kunja Madhura Mala Madhura Yamuna Madhura Vichi Madhura Salila Madhura Kamala Madhura Madhura Dipate Akila Madhura Gopi Madhura Leela Madhura Yukta Madhura Bhakta Madhura Kṛṣṇa Madhura Śrīmad Madhura Madhura Dipate Rakela Madhura Gopa Madhura Gava Madhura Yashtir Madhura Shrishtir Madhura Dalita Madhura Palita Madhura madhuradipate rakila madhura. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Jaya Krishna Chandra Jaya, Krishna Chandra Jaya, Jaya Nanda Nanda Jaya Yashoda Nanda 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 Jaya Yashoda Nanda Jaya Nanda Nanda Jaya Yashoda Nanda 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 Jaya Yashoda Nanda Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jai Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Sachinanda Jaya Gora Hari Sachinanda Jaya Gora Hari Jaya Sachinanda Jaya Gora Hari Sachinanda Jaya Gora Hari Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Dev Guru Dev Guru Dev Guru Dev Jai Prabhupada 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri Krishna Kanhaiya ki Jai Shri Vrajendra Nandan Shama Sundar ki Jai Shri Tadiya Shubha Avirbhav Tithi ki Jai Shri Janma Tithi ki Jai Jai Shri Shri oh sorry Rup Manjari I'm going to stop now. I'm not going to sing Chora Gaganya Purushashtakam this time. Maybe we can sing it tomorrow morning though. Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Shila Gurudeva ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja Shila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki Jai Nitil Pravishta Mahabhagavat Shila Gokshadas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Nitil Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradatta Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki Jai Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Ananta Koti Vai Shri Rajendra Nandan Sham Sundar Shri Krishna Chandra Krishna Kanhaiya ki Jai Tadiya Shubha Avirabh Tithi or Janma Tithi ki Jai Krishna Janmastami Tithi ki Jai Tithi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Shri Nanda Baba Yashoda Maya ki Jai Shri Gokula Mahavan ki Jai Shri Devaki Vasudev Maharaj Devaki Devi ki Jai Shri Mathura Mandal ki Jai Mathura Dham ki Jai Shri Dao Bhaya ki Jai Baladev Prabhu ki Jai Shri Rishabhanu Nandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees. Thank you for joining me in this reading, and I will read chapter 3 tomorrow morning about Nanda Baba's festival after Krishna's birth, Nandotsav, and also actually tomorrow is also Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, so we have to read something about Srila Prabhupada. So maybe I might not read the full chapter 3 because it's a bit long, but we'll just read up to Nandotsav part, and then we'll stop before it gets to Krishna's the Putana pastime and Shakatasura and etc. So yeah, then we'll read something about Srila Prabhupada. All right, so see you tomorrow morning. Jai Shri Radhe. All right, tomorrow evening for those of you in the West. Hari Bol.